What is going on, guys? It's Modded Warfare here. Welcome back to another PS4 tutorial. So in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Call of Duty Black Ops 3 online on your 5.05 PS4. Now this is not done through PlayStation's online service, it's not done through PSN. Basically this method broadcasts your LAN connection over the internet so that you can connect to other people who are hosting on their LAN connections. It's essentially the same idea as Link for Freestyle Dash on JTAGs and RGH Xbox 360s, or Xlink Kai or XB Connect. It's basically the same principle as those, if you're familiar, or Tungle on the PC, that kind of thing. Same principle as that. So essentially, this is currently in beta, so it only works with Black Ops 3 right now. I can see that they are trying to support other Call of Duty games, but right now this only works on Black Ops 3. And what you want is to make sure that you have Black Ops 3 updated to version 1.26. Obviously I can't show you where to download BO3, because I don't want the video to get copyright striked or anything like that. So you'll have to find that on your own. You'll need to find the game and the update 1.26. Now you don't have to be on version 1.26. This will work on pretty much any version of Black Ops 3. But the majority of players, if you're wanting to find, as much players as possible, then the majority of players are playing on version 1.26. So if you're on the base version of the game or a different update, your chances of finding players to play with are going to be much lower. So anyway, so the first thing you want to do is head on to your internet browser and go ahead and run the homebrew enabler if you have the fake package version of Black Ops 3 installed. Obviously you don't have to do this if you have the official game on a disc, then you can just run the game. So once you've got Hen running, you want to again go back into your internet browser and go to this website right here, which is codonline.darksoftware.xyz. So if you go to this website and you click the orange button right here that says click here to start the game, so press X on that, and then you'll get a notification that says please launch Black Ops 3. At this point you want to press the middle button on your PS4 and then start Call of Duty Black Ops 3, and then it should detect the game and the version that's currently running. So there you go, it says 1.26 found. It should also post your IP address. I'll obviously censor that, but it should show your external IP in a notification. That's how you know that everything's working as it should. Now, I've already launched this before, so I don't get the prompt to enter a username, but if you're doing this for the first time, you will get a prompt to enter a username. Now, at this point, if you get an error to do with UPnP or port forwarding, I will go over that at the end of the video. Hopefully you won't run into that issue. If you do, it's a bit of a hassle to fix, but I will go over that later on. So here we are on the game, so I'm just going to press X to start. So to find a game online, you just want to select the option to find a LAN game. And there you go. There's somebody playing right here. 5 players, multiplayer. All I have to do is press X and that should join their game. And we should have a functional online lobby going on. So this is pretty interesting that you can actually do this. I'm not sure, obviously this person could be hosting anywhere in the world, so the connection might not be the best. However, this is just a beta right now. So, it could be fleshed out to the same point as something like Xlink Kai or Link, where you have different regions for different, so you have a better connection. So I could join a European room where only European hosts, so that I get the best connection. Because right now there could be somebody from the US hosting, so the connection wouldn't be so good for me. Stuff like that. But because it's in beta, none of that is built up right now. So you'll have to forgive it for that at the moment. Yeah, I can already tell the host must be pretty bad for me right now because it's taking so long. But there we go, we're in the game. Game is running. I've connected, and there we go. So we've got 6 players in right now. And there's people talking on the mic. I don't have audio because I'm playing off my capture card, so I have no idea what people are saying. Hopefully they're not cussing me out right now. So yeah, there we go. Let's see. Does it show ping? No, it doesn't show ping. Oh well. But as you can see, it works. I mean, I'm playing online. If I press the middle button, you can see it says sign into PlayStation Network to view the latest information. I'm not connected to PSN, but I am playing online on Black Ops 3 right now. And nobody is modding by the looks of things. I'm not sure if modding is... I'm pretty sure modding is allowed, but maybe it's only for private games, which it probably should be. So I will show you guys how you can set up private games as well if you only want certain people in your game. So let's go ahead and quit. As you can see, that game actually filled up to about, I don't know, what, 8 or 9 people there. So it is pretty good, and I'm kind of, you know, on this at not the best time, so I'm sure at the weekends and stuff like that you'll probably get a lot more people hosting games. If you want to host your own game, then all you have to do is, you know, select multiplayer, and that's it, you're hosting. Because you can join a game session that's already running, you can start the game on solo and then people will start to join in. Now if you want to set up a private match though, so that only, you know, certain people can join, you don't want randoms joining, you only want, you know, your friends to join. Say you're wanting to set up a zombie game with just your friends, then what you can do is change your ID. So there's a couple of button combinations. If I hold down, I believe it's L2, R2 and L3 and R3 at the same time, I will get the web page opening up in game, and I can go to the FAQ, and the FAQ does have some useful commands that you can enter. So right here, R2 plus triangle plus circle will give you a new party ID. So by default your party ID is 0, so anybody who joins or who starts this payload and starts up the game will have ID number 0, so that everybody else who has ID number 0 can see each other's games. But if you use this R2 triangle plus circle combo, it will generate a random party ID so that you won't be able to find anybody's games, and they won't be able to find you unless they have the same party ID as you. So then you can just give your party ID to one of your friends. They can set their party ID on their console to the same as yours, and then only you two will be able to connect to each other. That way it stops randoms from joining. So just as an example here, you can also enter your own party ID, a custom one. That doesn't look like square to me. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Okay, so yeah, so if we do R2 plus triangle and circle at the same time, there we go. My party ID is 223171. So if I hosted a game on zombies right now, nobody with party ID 0 is going to be able to join my game right now. But if, you know, I had a friend who's wanting to join, I just give them that party ID and they set their party ID to the same as mine. In order to do that, what they would do is the other combination, which is R2 plus X and square at the same time. And then that gives you the option to enter a new party ID for yourself. So my party ID is 223171. I give that to my friend. He puts in 223171 as his party ID, and then he can join my games and I can join his. And then if we have a third or fourth player, they also put their party IDs to the same, and then we can all join each other, but nobody else who's using this system will be able to actually join us unless they know what our party ID is, which is unlikely. So yeah, that's basically it. That is how you play online over your LAN connection on the PS4 on 5.05. This does not work for 4.05 or 4.55. It is only for 5.05 right now, and it's only currently for Black Ops 3, but they are expanding to other CODs. Let's go over how to fix some of these errors. So if you're getting the error that I'll put up on screen right now, which is the UPnP error, then that requires you to port forward. So most routers have UPnP enabled by default. Some don't for some reason, which is weird, but basically I'll show you guys how you get around that. So what you want to do is go ahead and run the command prompt on your computer and type in ipconfig, and you want to look for your default gateway on the adapter that you're using to connect to the internet with on your computer. So this is my default gateway address, 192.168.1.254. Then you just want to enter that address into the URL bar of your internet browser, press enter, and that will load up your router's homepage. So once you're in your router's homepage, it will probably have a username or password. The username or password will either be on the device, it will be actually on the router itself. But if it's not on the router, then you just search for it on Google. If it's some kind of ISP router, then the default username and password will be on the internet somewhere, unless you've changed it to something, in which case you should know what the username and password is. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my advanced settings. Now, the problem with this is that every router page looks completely different, so yours is going to look nothing like this unless you also are in the UK and you have a BT Home Hub. So for me, I go to my firewall settings, and then port forwarding is in here. UPnP is in here, so I make sure that's turned on and I apply. UPnP will automatically port forward the ports for you. But it doesn't always work. So if it wasn't even on your router, then put UPnP on, apply, and then restart your PS4 and see if it fixes the error. If it doesn't fix the error and you're still getting the same problem, then you want to turn UPnP off and port forward manually. So on my router, port forwarding is a bit annoying, but what you have to do is you have to basically manage games and applications, and then you have to add a new game or application. I'll just call this COD Online, and then you enter the port or the protocol, which is UDP in this case, and the port number is 3074. So you just want to put that in pretty much every box, 3074. And then the other port is 1235, so you want to enter that also as UDP. And then you can apply that. And then once you've applied that, if I go back to port forwarding, then I can select it from here. So COD Online, where is it? There it is, COD Online, and then I select a device, which will be my PS4, and then I add it. Or I can enter the IP address of my PS4, which is 192.168.1.115, and then add that. So you can either add it by its IP or add it by its host name. It varies greatly depending on your router. And then I would just click apply, and now I have port forwarded. So that is basically how you get by those errors, because port forwarding can be a real bitch. So because your router will be completely different, a good place to go is go to portforward.com. I haven't been to this site in forever. I think it's portforward.com. It might be portforwarding.com. So I've opened up portforward.com, and then I'm just going to head to list of routers. So if you go to list of routers, it will give you a list of all kinds of different routers. So just find your router or one that's similar. Let's just say we had a Netgear router, for example, which a lot of people have. So let's say we have a Netgear. Just close the ad, and yeah, whatever model. I used to have a DGN something. DGN 1000. I had a DGN like 2000 or 3000. Yeah, DGN 2000. Let's do this one. Okay, and then it will give you a guide on how to port forward for that router. So you can see it gives you the default gateway, the default username and password, admin and password, and then it shows screenshots of basically how you port forward. So you go to services, you go to add a service, you put in the name, you put in the port number, you apply it. So it gives you basically a guide on how to do it, on how to port forward for a huge range of routers. So, if your router is completely different to mine, then you can go ahead and go on portforward.com, look up your router, and you'll be able to figure out how to port forward using that. So yeah, that's basically it. So I do hope this continues. It comes out of beta and it supports more games, and maybe has some more options, like the ability to create custom rooms or have specific rooms for certain regions. Stuff like that would be useful, or maybe certain rooms for modded lobbies versus regular games. All that stuff would be good. But yeah, I really hope it continues, because it's a really interesting thing that's been created here. I'm not entirely sure why it's game specific, like why only Black Ops 3. I don't know much about how all of this stuff works right now, but going from the Xbox 360, which had Link, which was great and worked on pretty much any game that had a system link or LAN connection, the only thing that the Xbox 360 limited you from being able to do this was they had a ping limit of 30 milliseconds, which meant that if your ping exceeded 30 milliseconds, you wouldn't be able to connect to somebody on LAN. That was their method of preventing you from using stuff like XB Connect or XBS Link or something like that. All they had to do was basically remove that ping limit, and then on custom firmware they removed the ping limit, and then you could connect on any game. So I'm not sure why they can't just do that in this case with the PS4. If there is a ping limit, can you not just have a payload that removes the ping limit, and then allow us to use stuff like Xlink Kai to connect to people all over? Not sure about that. Not sure why this is like a game specific thing, but either way it's pretty cool all the same. So hope you guys enjoyed the video or found the information useful. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one.